Most egregious, Tory, is the abundance of women out there who are laughing, who are pointing the finger at Joy Taylor with a profound level of guilt as if they know. Even when they throw in the word allegedly, they do it with smirks on their face.
This is so crazy that he's going this far and beyond to defend her. Meanwhile, when the Shannon Sharpe allegations came into fruition, it was the most prim and proper, I'm not going to defend him, we're going to see how this is going to play out, that I've ever seen. But for her, damn, Stephen.
Stephen A. is some sort of retard that they gave a thesaurus to.
Wow. Jason Whitlock just went off on his YouTube platform. He has a ton of smoke for Stephen A. Smith. Let's review the content.
Here's a little clip of Stephen A. Smith yesterday talking about me and complaining about me while he panders to, I think, some woman named Rachel Lindsay. Play the clip.
And here's the thing. People need to understand that's one of the reasons that you might not be hearing anything from her, nor Skip Bayless or anybody else, because they can turn around and sue. And they got their, I mean, think about the allegations that have been thrown out against them. Think about, the need that they may feel to retaliate. And as a result of that, I think that is even further requirement for people to be careful. But let me tell you why I wanted you on here, Tory, because I have to admit, I'm pretty pissed off. Now, there's a few people's names I'm not going to mention because, damn it, they ain't worth it, okay? And I get that. But there's a few men out there that are acting like, this is the perfect excuse to justify why we make the argument that women don't belong in the industry, which is an incredibly egregious thing to say, okay? They'll look at any woman sitting in a host chair or any woman that's a reporter out there or any woman that has to walk into the locker room, and all of a sudden their credibility is being questioned.
That's not the argument.
Appalled at by rather even.
This is so incredible. That's not the argument whatsoever. The argument is women that don't deserve it. If you take a ring girl and then expect her to fight, but then act like she's a winner or act like she can win, that's bullshit. That's skipping the line, especially if that ring girl bangs the promoter in order to get that shot. That's the argument, is women unfairly reaching that. And nobody thought that until the lawsuit came into fruition. And then if you cross-reference that with her on these podcasts and the way that she thinks about men, I think that shit is true, Stephen.
And that
stop the bullshit.
Is the women all over social media that are allowing it most egregious, Tory.
Stephen
is the abundance of women out there who are laughing, who are pointing the finger at Joy Taylor with a profound level of guilt as if they know. Even when they throw in the word allegedly, they do it with smirks on their face, sort of dismissive, because in this business we know how to speak with our body language, not just with words.
This is wild.
And not only that, they're using it as an excuse to question her credibility. Now, I don't know what happened, but let me tell you what I do know. I know that I've seen Joy Taylor on TV a lot over the years, and I think she's pretty damn good.
This is so crazy that he's going this far and beyond to defend her. Meanwhile, when the Shannon Sharpe allegations came into fruition, it was the most prim and proper, I'm not going to defend him, we're going to see how this is going to play out, that I've ever seen. But for her, damn, Stephen.
I think she's very capable. I think she's worthy of the position that she has on Fox Sports. I think her podcast with Taylor Rooks is a damn good podcast.
That shit was trash. The numbers showed it, and shit, they don't even do it together anymore.
I think her credentials in this business have been established.
So, this is what I mean when I say these people are installed and they're idiots and they're there to distract you. And like, how dare I question the credibility of Joy Taylor? Stephen A., I've questioned your credibility. In the strongest way possible. To sit here and to pretend like, oh, I've only questioned Joy Taylor or women, are you kidding me? I've questioned the entire industry. That this is all a rigged up system to promote idiocy and to promote willful ignorance. And so that people are in denial of the facts and the truth. And so, yeah, if you're going to have a Stephen A. Smith, you got to have the Joy Taylors of the world. You have to take something, sports, that have been dominated by men, conversations about sports, which have been dominated by men, and you have to inject feminism into that conversation so that men like Stephen A. Smith will talk like women. And he does that regularly. And I've pointed it out that this is the problem with all of these guys. They get around a woman, and the next thing you know, they start pandering. And if it's an attractive woman, oh my God, there's no limit to what they won't say. And so Stephen A. Smith, upset with me, can't really talk about it because he's scared of me. I get it, but I'm trying to, this is how uninformed Stephen A. Smith is. Because at one point, I think in one of these clips, he mentioned something about, and we got to make sure that that's part of the clip. We got to make sure, he mentioned something about Joy Taylor and Taylor Rooks doing a podcast together and how great it is.
That shit was ass.
And I'm just like, oh, this dude's so uninformed. And again, if you're going to make that reference, Stephen, at least recognize, and the show's been canceled. They walked away from each other. So no matter how great you're pretending and lying to think that this show is great and blah, 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 it doesn't even exist anymore, Stephen A. You're so freaking uninformed. It's embarrassing. And your point of view is so, you're so detached from biblical wisdom that you sound like an idiot and you say stupid things constantly. And I thank God for it, to be quite honest with you, because as I said at the very beginning of this, Stephen A.'s idiocy is the reason why I remain relevant, despite all the forces working against me and Fearless and what we do here. I remain relevant because these people are so stupid and so cowardly that I'm your only source of consistent, like authentic, intelligent, brave sports commentary. Or just commentary about the world.
Hold on there, Jason. I was with you when you said not only for sports commentary, but when it comes to commentary in general, your boy been doing over here grassroots for the last couple of years, all right? But getting back to the subject at hand, I think the important thing that he details is that there seems to be some type of infliction when it comes to addressing these different topics evenly from both a male perspective and a female perspective that he doesn't see with Stephen A. Smith. And here's the thing is that he is currently involved in a network on a platform where it is de-incentivized or less popular to call out the women as much for their bullshit as it would be to call out men on a bullshit. But at the same time, I have definitely seen Stephen A. call out women. Specifically, I remember when he tore up Jada Pinkett Smith during that whole Will Smith smacking Chris Rock debacle. And I mean, Stephen A. laid into her. But when it comes to the Joy Taylor situation, I agree with Jason here that Stephen is not addressing this in a logically fair or masculine way. I think that he is utilizing diversion tactics. Maybe that's his friend, maybe more of a friend than Shannon Sharpe is, but he's ignoring the very real issues within an environment that Jason Whitlock has called out. I think he previously worked at Fox Sports, and also calling out this sort of anti-Me Too movement, #MenToo. Because again, if you promote the ring girl to be the fighter, she's at least got to be a great fighter, and not that she got that position of fighter by laying on her damn back and taking strokes. Allegedly. Let's go.
Look at what I'm competing against. This Stephen A. is some sort of retard that they gave a thesaurus to.
Wow.
This man, he flunked 4th grade, and they tried to hold him back, and he acknowledges in his own book that he had a high school counselor laugh at the thought of Stephen A. going to college. Anybody that worked with Stephen A. at the Philadelphia Inquirer and early in his career, when he was trying to be a writer, guy wrote like at a 6th, 7th grade level. And the editors are rewriting everything for it because he's propped up and installed. But Stephen A. he's not built for this time we're living in terms of this combat that's going on between the patriarchy and the matriarchy. And that's
It's not as focused.
why I'm so despised. Because it's like, no, there's a battle over dominion, over leadership between men and women. And I want to make it crystal clear. You can choose whatever side you want. That's America. You can be for the matriarchy. But I'm going to make it crystal clear. You're out of step with what God intended, what God wants. Don't call yourself a Christian. Don't pretend to be a Christian. If you're pro-matriarchy, if you're pro-women in power and leading, if you're pro this feminism that is absolutely destroying America, Black America, we've been destroyed. Because we hopped on board with feminism and female leadership from the get-go. Now it's just destroying the rest of America. But the results are all in. And I'm tired of the people pretending like, well, it really wasn't feminism and blah, blah. If we had just, men this and white man that and Christianity this and evangelicals that and black men are no good and blah, blah, blah.
Jason Whitlock woke up this morning and chose complete and utter violence. I don't know how long that him and Stephen A. have been going back and forth or have been acknowledging each other, but it's clear that Jason wants Stephen A. Smith to say his name. I respect both of these brothers. I understand and side with Jason's point in regards to this position way more than Stephen A. Smith's point. But I also know and acknowledge that there's many men that fail to realize what is happening around them. And I don't necessarily fault them for that. I just hope that they can take acknowledgement to the content and upgrade their thoughts, their feelings, their ambitions, what boundaries that they are creating for themselves and what they will tolerate. I look at Stephen A. Smith's comments within this and I say either, he's ridiculously compromised to say what he thinks. And I also think that it's odd that he didn't defend Shannon Sharpe like that. But then I also think that this is a man that is, he's incentivized to communicate in this way when it comes to these different topics. I used to work in corporate structure and be fed a lot of these feminist ideologies and shit. I went to 2 college institutions that would feed these feminist ideologies, most of which I didn't even realize the ideologies and where they stem from until I got more education and got opportunity to look outside of the particular knowledge presented to me to really assess how it's impacting me or those around me. Stephen A. Smith is complaining about the backlash Joy Taylor has received without giving proper credence that what if the allegations are true? What if this woman slept her way up to the top? And if so, if there was an environment created that can allow that to happen, and not just that, but then for her to go back later and claim as assault on the man that put her in there when she wants to escape control, or I guess escape his bedroom, then that shit should be called out. That should be challenged. That should never happen. The men shouldn't be doing that, and the women shouldn't be doing it either. But when you lose structure and order, it can happen. Let's take a look at some of the comments. Just came to hear big cans and peanut butter skin. I think I'm going to put that on a ringtone of mine just so I can hear it more often. How many men are allowed to walk around in women's locker rooms? ? So women don't need to be in the men's locker room either. Let's look at some of the replies to that. None are. There really shouldn't be any interviews in the locker rooms. The locker room is for players and coaches and not for media to conduct interviews. This concept of locker rooms and who's being allowed where is actually, we see this play out in real life as well. How many times you guys go into a club or a bar and there's like a chick in the men's bathroom because the line to their bathroom was too long, and dudes are just expected to accept that. Meanwhile, you go over in the women's locker room and you're going to get the security called on you. Let's keep it moving. They'd fire a guy over a hint of sexual impropriety. With Taylor, was way more than a hint. The cans got canned. The irony. Stephen A. Smith is a dope and never said one intelligent thing. He just talks fast and loud. He is part of why I never watch ESPN anymore. Pointing out Joy Taylor, you said to get her job is just stating facts. Well, we'll see what the court case concludes. Imagine simping for the same woman who allegedly considered throwing false allegations on a man just because, which is crazy. Stephen A. is such an inconsistent flip-flopper. Yeah, the most inconsistent thing that I see within this is the video of him supporting or lack of support for Shannon Sharpe. And if you take a look at the situations and the allegations before Shannon Sharpe and everything that's in the court case and the indictment, and then you cross-reference that to the ridiculousness that is purported by the young lady, Miss Jabbery, in regards to Joy Taylor and Charlie Dixon and the environment that was created, those allegations seem a lot more believable than Shannon Sharpe's allegations. Anybody with a brain can look at Shannon Sharpe's allegation and be able to understand that this is a damn shakedown. But still, Stephen A. Smith's response within that was button up, tied up. Let me say all of the perfect words. I think that it's worthy criticism. Again, I like both brothers. Hopefully they can talk it out and hash it out. But until they do, I'm going to give you guys some updates on it. All right, guys, questions, comments, concerns. Y'all already know what to do. Mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. Light up the comment section with this one. And again, if it gets to where it needs to, I'll go live about it. We'll have a discussion. Until next time, YouTube. Peace.
You don't wanna see me get vexed. Bars on your phone, tell a man you can't jet. The big the ones who can't stretch. Breaking the neck when we in the car next. You don't wanna see me get vexed. Bars on your phone, tell a man you can't jet. The big the ones who can't stretch. Breaking the neck when we in the car next. That bars need defibrillation ASAP. Get boxed with a straight gap. I'm reminded of mind state they lack.